guys, I thought I'd do my first sort of semi-musical type upload. Got myself some cheap guitar equipment lately, so I thought I'd do a little video on some what I think is fairly decent cheap stuff for getting going with if you're a beginner, carrying on with. If you're just a bedroom guitarist, I don't suggest for 1 second anybody tries to use an amplifier that size to go gigging with. But, I don't know, it might be alright for the corner of a small pub, but that's about it. And again, you couldn't use that against a drum kit or against anyone with a half decent amplifier, but for practice, I mean for a household, this thing's perfectly fucking decent. So, let's turn everything off first, and I'll just talk through what I've got here. I've got an Orange Crush 15. These are great little inexpensive amplifiers, great beginners practice amplifier, whatever. It's just got really good sound quality for the price. Well, at all really, it sounds great. That's what the amplifier sounds like. Everything here is just straight up the middle, nothing going on there. There's no gain, there's no, I mean the amplifier does have a dirty channel, but we'll look at that after. Because I've got these pedals, I thought, oh well, yeah really, I bought these pedals first. I bought the looper as a practice device really, just so I could jam with myself. And then I thought, well I want drive on a pedal because my old amp had all the effects on the amplifier. And obviously when you're jamming, it's a pain in the bum to go over to the amp and fiddle with things all the time. So I thought I'll get myself a reverb pedal and a drive pedal. Now ignore what that actually says. I went on eBay, looked for a drive pedal. This came up very cheap. And it has a drive there on that dial and a knob. So I thought I'll buy that. I can see it's got some sort of EQ. It's called American Sound. When I got it home, I found out what it is actually is an amp simulator. It says on the back it's an amp model in a pedal, I suppose. It says it's supposed to be a Fender 57 Classic. I've no idea whether it sounds like a Fender 57 Classic. I've never heard a Fender 57 Classic in the flesh. I'm sure I've heard it on many an album and not known what I'm listening to. But I'm using it as a drive pedal because I can have clean tone, got a bit of drive on there. That's only, as you can see, 12 o'clock on these dials really. So a bit of a, well, not even a scooped mid. It's just a pushed bottom on the EQ here. So I've got a pushed low, and the other two are just turned down a little bit, and then more or less 12 on these. And I can have more drive and a lot more volume with it. So let's turn that off for a minute. The other thing is I've got the Orange Crush 20, not the Orange Crush 20 RT. And what our RT stands for is Reverb and Tuner. Because again, I was starting to play with pedals, so I got myself, this is what's called an ENO Reverb pedal. It's about 20 odd pounds on the internet. You can get it from eBay, from Amazon, from various places. These pedals are all very cheap, 20 quid, 30 quid, 20 quid. And for me, I couldn't be happier. You know, I haven't had a lot of experience with pedals, so maybe these are fucking terrible. And I just don't have any experience and know what I'm talking about. But that's a good enough clean sound for me, and that could probably do with a bit more of a traditional scooped middle. So there we are. And it has this voice which seems to be a sort of tone and volume in there. But yeah, So yeah, reverb pedal on the right there. So this amplifier doesn't come with a reverb. So without it and with it. So there we are. This pedal it's got 3 types of reverb. I'll be honest, the differences between them to my ear are subtle. That's room reverb. Here's a spring reverb, supposedly. It's not quite as, it's not got quite as much body to it, but you can just kind of turn it up a little bit because it's got a like. This is level here, but what it means is volume overall. This one here says dry wet. That's actually the amount of reverb you're putting into the signal, really. So yeah, the spring reverb doesn't sound quite as full as the room reverb, but you turn it up a bit and then it does sort of sound the same again. And then well reverb, supposedly like we're down a well. Not bad. Turn it all the way up. There's maximum reverb. So yeah, and also this amplifier goes really bloody loud for its size. For a household. As you can see, I've got the clean channel turned to a 3 out of whatever. Turn it up to 11. It's louder than I need it. So just very quickly, might as well demonstrate the amplifier has its own gain channel. So that's what that sounds like. Channel on the amp itself isn't bad. It's just for me be honest. Yeah, see, that sounds nice. Although that should sound a bit thinner than that. And what am I going to demonstrate on the looper pedal? Because I'm pretty fucking terrible at jamming with myself. But let's go clean. So this looper pedal, light off, means it's sitting doing nothing, nothing's saved on it. It's ready to start recording. So one tap. You start recording. Second tap, and it carries on. So it's got a level volume, the volume level knob. And that'll just loop. Obviously, if I'd been better with the timing of the tap, you can make the loop sound nicer and repeat properly in time. And stop, start, stop. Yeah, so there we go. Lastly but not leastly, I'm thinking about buying another of these little looper pedals. They're great, but you really only get one track, and when you overdub, you're just overdubbing onto that same track, and you're overdubbing onto that same track, and then you can only take the top layer off. You can't then take it all the way back down to nothing. Another looper pedal would be more versatile, and partly because I've also been putting bass on these things. But this amp obviously isn't meant to take bass. I've got another little bass amplifier down there, so I thought I could record my bass loops. So yeah, I didn't try recording the bass onto that, but as you can hear, I mean, it does take a bass. Yeah, it's alright, but I think it would be better to put another looper pedal into my bass amp and then use the two together like that. I mean, Right, well, I hope you enjoyed that. That's 15 minutes of bullshitting around. Shall we say hello to the Sid? Hello, Sid. Hi, everybody. Moo. You're going to play my pedals. Thank you. You're molting all over everything. Thank you. That's very nice of you. Right, take care, folks.